Mark was standing in a small apartment in Lisbon, staring at his phone, waiting for a video call to connect. On the other side of that call, his wife, Jessica, and their 6-year-old daughter, Lily, were sitting in their home in Texas. Different time zones. Different lives. Same family. "Daddy, when are you coming home?" Lily asked. Mark smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Because the truth was, he didn't want to go back. He had worked hard to build a new life in Portugal. A better pace. Better opportunities. A future he believed in. But there was one problem. His family wasn't there. And that's the moment everything changes. Because what most people don't realize is this. Moving abroad is not just about you. It's about the people you leave behind. Now here's the surprising truth. Portugal offers a legal pathway to bring your family with you. It's called the Family Reunification Visa. And in 2026, it's one of the most powerful opportunities for anyone already living in Portugal legally. But here's the problem. Most people misunderstand how it works. They think it's automatic. They think it's fast. They think anyone qualifies. Most people get this wrong, but here's why. Family reunification is a structured process, and small mistakes can lead to delays, or even rejection. So in this video, you're going to learn exactly how the Portugal Family Reunification Visa works, who qualifies, and step by step, how someone like Mark brings his family to Portugal legally. But this is where it gets interesting. Because the process doesn't start with the family. It starts with you. Let's break it down. Mark already lives in Portugal on a valid residence permit. That's step 1. To apply for family reunification, the main applicant must be a legal resident. That means holding a residence permit for work, study, or other long-term stay. Now here's the key insight. Your status determines everything. If your residency is temporary or unstable, your application becomes weaker. Mark understands this. He waits until his residence permit is fully approved and valid. That decision saves him months of potential delays. Now let's move to the next question. Who qualifies as family? This is where things get very specific. Spouses or legal partners. Minor children. Dependent adult children in some cases. Parents who depend financially on you. But here's where it gets tricky. Not every relationship automatically qualifies. You need proof. Marriage certificates. Birth certificates. Legal documentation. And here's the catch. These documents often need to be translated into Portuguese and officially certified. This is where many applications fail, because people underestimate documentation. Mark doesn't. He prepares everything carefully, because he knows. Details matter. Now let's talk about the biggest concern. Money. Can I afford to bring my family? This is where most people hesitate. Portugal requires proof that you can financially support your family members. This includes income, savings, and sometimes housing conditions. But here's the surprising truth. You don't need to be rich. You need to be stable. Mark provides proof of his job contract, his salary, his bank statements, and his rental agreement. Which brings us to the next requirement. Accommodation. You must prove that you have adequate housing for your family. Not just a place to stay, but a place suitable for everyone. This is where it gets serious. A small studio apartment might work for one person, but not for a family of 3. Mark upgrades his apartment before applying. That decision strengthens his case significantly. Now let's move to the actual application process. This is where things can feel overwhelming, but we're going to break it down step by step. Step 1. Mark submits a request to Portugal's immigration authorities. This is the initial approval stage. They review his status, income, housing, and documents. Now imagine this moment. He submits everything. Days pass. Weeks pass. Doubt creeps in. What if I missed something? What if they reject it? This is where most people panic. But here's the truth. If your documents are complete, your chances are strong. And then, approval. This is the first big win. But the journey isn't over. Now step 2 begins. Jessica and Lily must apply for their visas from their home country. This is where many people get confused. The process is split. One part in Portugal, one part abroad. Jessica schedules an appointment at the Portuguese consulate. She submits her documents, passport, proof of relationship, approval from Portugal, and other required forms. Now here's the part most people don't expect. Processing time. It can take weeks, sometimes months. And this is where patience becomes critical. But here's where it gets emotional. Mark is waiting in Portugal. Jessica and Lily are waiting in the US. Separated, but moving toward the same goal. This is where it gets real. Because this isn't just paperwork. It's life. Then one day, the email arrives. Visa approved. This is the moment everything changes. Now let's talk about what happens next. Jessica and Lily travel to Portugal. They enter legally and begin the final step. Residence permits. Once they arrive, they apply for their residence cards. This gives them legal status in Portugal, access to healthcare, education for Lily, and the ability for Jessica to work. Now the family is together again. Same country, same home, same life. But here's the deeper truth. This process is not just about documents. It's about commitment. Because bringing your family means responsibility, financial stability, emotional support, long-term planning. Now let's break down the key steps clearly so you can follow them. First, ensure you have a valid residence permit in Portugal. Second, confirm that your family members qualify under reunification rules. Third, gather all required documents, properly translated and certified. Fourth, prove financial stability and suitable housing. Fifth, apply for approval in Portugal. Sixth, have your family apply for visas from their home country. Seventh, complete residence permit procedures after arrival. Simple in structure, but powerful in impact. Now here's the part most people overlook. Timing. Many people rush the process. They apply too early, or without proper preparation. And that leads to delays. Mark does something different. He plans ahead. And that makes all the difference. Now let's address a common fear. Confidence, independence, opportunity. Ethan understands this. And he chooses growth. Now think about this. A year from now, you could still be in the same place, same routine, same doubts. Or, you could be studying in Italy, exploring new cities, building a global future, becoming a completely different version of yourself. Because that's what this decision really is. Not just education. Transformation. Ethan didn't have perfect knowledge. He didn't have guarantees. But he had one thing. Action. And that made all the difference. So now the question is simple. Will you keep waiting? Or will you take the first step? Because the people who succeed, the ones who study abroad, the ones who build global careers, they all start the same way. With a decision. And this could be yours. If you found this guide helpful and want more step-by-step strategies like this, make sure you subscribe. Because the next opportunity might be even bigger. And you don't want to miss it.